Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dungeon of the Mad Mage. It is session 106, and we're running slightly behind, so let's just jump right into a little bit of a recap. Previously, in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, the party had been exploring the frigid land of the Stone Men, but found themselves unable to progress further without the likelihood of encountering the stone giants that lived here. As they made their way, or as they made ready to explore further, they felt a rumbling beneath them and were surprised as moss-covered rock near stream arrived. The young Zorn seemed sullen, disappointed that Bones had not invited him to adventure, and after some discussion, the two realized that they had misunderstood one another. Bones resolved to include Mossy on their ventures below, at least for now. In preparation for potentially meeting the stone giants, Ezrah began to cast a spell that would allow him to understand their language. But while the party waited for him to finish the casting, one of the stone giants stumbled upon them. The giant was startled and didn't speak a language that the party understood, so Matashtai, in an effort to communicate, reached into the giant's mind. The giant was taken aback, suspicious of the voice in his head, and began to accuse Matashtai of tricking and tormenting the giant and his family. After a bit of conversation, Matashtai was able to convince, or at least confuse the giant, whose name was Gravelock, into being slightly less suspicious of the party, if only just. At least they would now be to the point to where the party could try to discuss and figure out what was going on with the stone giants. During this negotiation, a second stone giant arrived, Kurok, and though this larger giant deferred to Gravelock, he seemed astounded that the giants weren't just pounding the party into paste. Ultimately, Gravelock decided that the party should meet the rest of his family, so that they might be able to traverse the giants' lands as known individuals, and thereby avoid any potential smushing. The party traveled to the central pit area where they awaited the giant family. There Ezrah was able to cast upon himself the ability to comprehend all languages in an attempt to help with the discussions. Soon after, a great rumbling filled the area as the giants arrived. The party were introduced to three new giants, the twins, Rhodos and Obsidia, and the matriarch of the family, Spaliosa. The party also learned of a sixth giant, Zorta, who was not in attendance. Spaliosa took charge of the negotiations, conversing with Matashtai telepathically. Through the conversation, the party were able to learn that the giants were plagued by some unseen tormentor that would muddle their minds, leaving them euphoric but unable to do anything, the effect they called the mind fog. To make matters worse, it seemed that the tormentor had the habit of laughing at the giants after the fact, which just caused them to be further enraged. Matashtai arranged for the party to help figure out who this tormentor was and put an end to the trickery, but it was clear by the end of the conversation that Spaliosa did not like Matashtai and was still suspicious of the group. He ordered the stone giants to remain in pairs so as to avoid being taken by surprise by the party. Before the two groups split, the party learned about a great spire in the middle of the pit that the giants claimed was shielded from everything. Having no real leads upon which to work, the party decided that investigating the spire would be a good place to start. As they walked across the pit to the spire, they realized that this area was littered with the remnants of any dead creatures, some of which were clearly slain by the giants, crushed. But if all the remains were the giants' handiwork, then these creatures had either been here for a very long time or had a penchant for mass slaughter. Either way, the party found the spire easily enough, and after some experimentation from Bones, Matashtai, Ashes, and Mossy, they found that there was indeed some sort of magical barrier guarding it. Ezrah decided he would need to approach this from a more magical angle. He began to set about his work. While doing that, Matashtai decided to bring out the Lantern of Revealing, guessing that perhaps whatever was tormenting the giants was an invisible creature. And indeed, while Ezrah performed his arcane investigations, Matashtai and Ashes noticed a small, vibrantly colored creature flying on the edges of the lantern's light. Eventually, Ezrah revealed the orb that Raynair had given him. He brought it towards the shielded spire and raised it high. The orb, in response, began to grow larger and become transparent. It encompassed Ezrah like a bubble, and 4 little beams of light shot upwards around it. Ezrah was eventually able to surmise that he could mentally control the bubble, and that it was able to ascend, but to what, he did not know. The party gathered within, but unfortunately were unable to ascend due to moss-covered Rocknir Stream's prodigious weight. The party resolved to send Matashtai and Ezrah up, while Bones and Ashes remained below with Mossy and the Lantern, on the lookout for the invisible creature. The bubble elevator was excruciatingly slow, and over the course of nearly 20 minutes, it ascended several hundred feet into the air. Quite suddenly, the bubble stopped, and Matashtai and Ezrah found themselves facing a diminutive castle perched atop the needle-like point of the spire. Matashtai bravely reached outside the bubble towards the tiny castle and was startled to find his hand and arm shrink down to be proportionally sized to the castle itself. Miniaturization magic. Ezrah followed, and the two opened the door of the castle to find a small foyer. They didn't want to risk exploring without their allies, so Ezrah experimented with the bubble, eventually discovering that he could send it back down without being inside it. Down the bubble goes, with a note asking Ashes and Bones to come up. Bones was hesitant to leave Mossy once more, but a brief conversation with the Zorn made the Tabaxi realize that the creature wasn't feeling abandoned by not being able to go into a place, but rather by not being invited to go on the adventure in the first place. The young Zorn was perfectly fine waiting around while others explored the tiny mystery castle. And so Bones and Ashes ascended to meet with Ezrah and Matashtai in the small foyer filled with unseen servants, tiny castle atop an incredibly tall, shielded spire. They'd been searching for Madgoth's castle, but, as Bones and Ezrah noted from the sign on the door, this was Otto's castle, and they had no idea they would find here. And that is where we fainted to the scene.
What's going on with these little purple light purple cones?
So, in order to give a little bit of
visibility into is that the lantern?
In order to give a little bit of ambiance, a little bit of atmosphere, and a little bit of helping me understand exactly how far the lantern reveals, the violet-esque, purplish, tinged color of lighting is the field of Matashtai's lantern.
Oh, you just put on aura. It just looks weird because of the doorways. I understand.
Yes, absolutely. Just looks weird because of the doorways. So,
2 auras.
To kind of, well, one is just a light filter, and the other is an actual aura. So,
okay.
Kind of catch us back up on where exactly we are. You guys have just opened the door out of the foyer, the small room with the 4 white pedestals, and the unseen servants floating about the room, sweeping and dusting. There is a quiet calm about the whole place. You've stepped out into a set of hallways where the floor, the ceiling, the walls, everything is made of this incredibly smooth gray stone that almost has a liquid look to it. But here and there throughout the place, dotted within the smooth gray walls, are these beautiful chunks of colored glass blocks. There's almost no sound here. There is a slight breeze, but it doesn't seem to be coming from any one direction. It's almost like it circulates around you from the halls itself. And then obviously, from a sensory standpoint, there's a door immediately across from the one that you have exited through. And then directions to the west and east for you to travel, both of which look roughly identical.
Roughly identical. All right, Ezra, it's your show.
Perhaps we start with the most convenient avenue and see what's ahead of us.
I can't. Damn it. I tried to just ram myself into the door, but it wouldn't let me.
Stop it.
Oh, it's a wall. I can't. I'm stuck in the wall. All right, I'm out.
Let me get a track.
I
Nothing.
swear to God, both of you. One of these days.
Why I oughta.
I try here.
No, stop.
Look,
Okay.
if you move yourself onto the stoop, you can't get out. You
Oh,
have to go like sideways to get out. You
that's
can't get
because the stoop, the door, right? The way they designed it, it has a little. It itself is a movable object, and it kind of juts out from the wall, so it takes up a little bit of space. So it'll let you move there, but once you move there, it's like, no, you stuck. You ain't getting out.
I have to pick my token up and put it on it. I can't move there. I can't.
funny.
You can slide it from the side. No, you can't. Stoop kid's gonna leave his stoop.
All right,
Kid.
so you guys are in this quiet, mysterious castle. There is this door in front of you. Is that where you want to investigate first?
Yeah, I just try and open it like a normal person first. What if it doesn't? Then shaka!
There is a quite strangely, actually, for what you have experienced so far in your delving of Undermountain, there is a simple, almost modern doorknob upon this door.
Oh, that's so odd to actually have a doorknob on a door. I open it.
The
There's a
dwarves would disagree.
Soft click
Mr. Dwarf
as
Man.
you twist the knob,
Yeah, I'm a dwarf.
and
That's
the
why
door
I feel no danger doing this.
moves within your grip. Push the
Like
door
most
open,
normal doors.
and you see beyond you, or beyond it, a beautiful, if simple, courtyard garden. You look up, and you can see it is open to the dark air above. You can see 3 floors above you in the castle, and you can see crystal barred windows looking down from the 2 floors above. Each of the corner sections, as you kind of like peek in, houses different colored flowers planted along paths of glittering pebble-sized crystals. Blue in the northwest, red in the northeast, yellow southeast, and violet southwest. In the center of the courtyard is a 9-foot-tall statue of a plump, humanoid individual wearing a robe, almost wizardly nature. But it's wearing a strange-looking helmet with odd bladed-like fins. And
Damn, I
in
love
one
blade
hand, it holds aloft a stone spellbook. The statue faces southwest, and the pedestal on which it rests is engraved a single word. Madgoth.
Oh. Probably not Otto then. Maybe it's Otto Madgoth. Maybe that's his first name. Hey, what's his first name, Ezra? Do you know?
Do I know?
Do you know?
Mad Goth the Automaton.
If I'm remembering correctly, prior to very recently, you weren't even sure that Madgoth was a person necessarily. So I would say probably unlikely as to whether or not you're sure of if this is a first or a last name.
It is confirmed. It is his first name.
Yeah.
Is there an easy way to tell if something's petrified or is just stone?
Feed it one of your little potions.
That's what
Hit
I
it
would
with
say.
a greater restoration.
Generally speaking, no. There is not. If an artiste is skilled enough...
I know about stone! I'm a dwarf and a cat!
Okay. You are... Oh, I don't know that the cat part matters, but you are a dwarf.
I'm an artiste.
W in that word. Stop saying dwarf.
Dwarf.
Look,
I
I
can't
you're-
take it anymore.
Your dwarven stone cunning would, I think, in this particular situation, do nothing to ascertain whether or not this statue was actually a petrified indivical. It does
Same.
look very well made.
Yeah,
It does look
Definitely
very
could be. Definitely
well
could be.
crafted. Part of the issue is that you can't see any physical features because of the helm that kind of covers the statue's head, which
The helm
is
cover-
a separate piece, it seems.
Oh, it's a separate piece. I'll try and take that bitch off.
Okay. So Bones begins to step forward towards the statue itself. What is everyone else doing?
Let me
What were
Let
the
me
colors in the corners?
Does it not? Can you not get in?
No, I can't move in.
Oh no. Okay, let me snag you. There
Use
you
your
go.
mouse.
I did, and it wouldn't let me in, which is why I moved to cursives.
I refuse to believe you because it worked for me.
All right.
Fine, whatever.
I
Screw you.
refuse.
So the colors were blue in the northwest, red in the northeast, yellow in the southeast, and violet in the southwest. So Bones steps forward towards the statue. Anyone else doing anything?
Is the entire statue, the entire thing, stonified, or is that tome looking a little bit more
The
organic?
tome definitely looks attached and is of the same stone that the statue itself is. It's possible that it's not. You might check on it, but from where you're standing, it looks like it's probably a part of the statue.
I can hope, can I?
Absolutely, 100%.
No, you lost that right long ago.
Hey, dwarf cat.
Proud of it.
All right,
All right, I'm wrenching a helmet off a statue.
you're wrenching the helmet off the statue.
I mean, I'm not trying to break it, but I'm taking that bitch
Fine
off.
now.
Okay, so
Just as it, there could be,
Bones
magic
reaches up to
and,
the statue,
you might want-
hands
okay.
grab
oh,
and pull
okay.
off, because you do end up having to actually pull it up and off. There is a statue head underneath the helmet, but you remove a odd, almost kind of like a dark slate color, some sort of metal alloy with these fins. It has a single fin down the top, almost kind of like a mohawk, right? Of a almost black alloy, and then a fin on either cheek, kind of like going back, And then the helm itself is I don't remember the name of those, but it's very kind of like the Spartan 300 kind of helm, right?
Oh, that's cool shit.
But it's got these weird fins going down the different sides.
Are they
Damn.
blade-like, or just?
They're almost blade-like, but they don't look sharp necessarily, right? They're thin.
Hey, are
but
they? I'm touching on it.
Yeah, they're not sharp. They're not sharp, right? Like they could probably be sharpened. But right now they're not nicking your finger or anything like that. And it doesn't necessarily seem as if they are designed to be weapons, like cut someone's cheek if you're up in a, hold with them or something like that.
The helmet is not stone.
The helmet is not stone. It is it's
But
some sort of metal alloy.
The rest of the statue is stone.
And as you pull the helmet off, you see the face underneath somewhat matches the body, right? It's a pudgier, very full-faced humanoid male. Slight balding at the front of the forehead, right? Kind of creates the little dome there, but then big, thick hair going backwards, almost overly thick, as if compensating for something, right? Very thick mustache that goes across the face, kind of uncovered jowls, but then kind of patchy, spotty hair around the chin. All stone, obviously, right? But very well made, right? The earlier stipulation that you couldn't quite tell whether or not this might be actually someone or not is now this is a very well crafted statue, or maybe it's a petrified person.
Hey, so guys, on the off chance it's the petrified person, do we want to wake up someone who may or may not be Mad Goth?
We know nothing about them. They could be.
Oh, we should do, guys. Hold on.
Are we not just assuming?
Magic.
Are we not just assuming all mages down here are Halaster apprentices? That's what I was assuming.
I mean, that is a logical assumption, but I don't think we can act on that as the paramount.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the statue, and I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna.
From behind
give it a little-
Ezra, you all hear this. And Ezra, your head just snaps back, and you see.
How long does comprehend languages last?
You see just behind you. You see this.
For 1 hour, so I think that should still be up.
I think it should still be up. This thing is not speaking a language.
Okay.
Classic. What is it? I can't see anything.
You can't see it yet. I'm about to describe. Ezra, you see kind of like loping down in a weird gait down the hall towards you, this strange, patchy, gray-scaled creature with almost like a smushed kind of bulldog or pug type face with these big ears, almost kind of like bat-like ears that go out to either side, and it is winged, and you see it, you look at it, and for some reason it just sparks something in your mind. Roll me an Arcana check.
Pun intended. Sparks something in my mind.
DC is relatively high. We're gonna say 23.
How about a 14?
Ooh, no.
I'm gonna pop a soak point and re-roll that.
Okay, gotcha.
How about a 14?
How about a 14? So there's this sudden, like, startling realization where you're like, oh, wait, what is that?
No.
Oh,
No.
what is that? I need everyone to select their tokens and roll for initiative.
Oh, shit, it's go time.
The fuck is this? I'm not
Another
familiar
seven.
with this. at
Jesus
all.
Christ.
I don't see anything, so
I'm slow as fuck.
I'm quick as shit, but I don't see nothing.
Fortunately, though, this thing rolled really poorly on its stealth, so none of you are in a surprise round. You were all very able to hear it coming down the hallway. So,
Heck, and I could hear it.
yeah, basically, it really rolled poorly. All right. Do this. Let's roll on
Not a
over
fucking D&D
to
before, but
our.
it really is a horrifying creature.
So I'm gonna. Some of you can't see this at all yet, so I'm gonna show you. Well, I don't want to show you this. I don't want to show you this yet. Oh well, I guess it doesn't matter. Un momento. I guess it's irrelevant now. Oiled again, roll 20.
Aha!
Oh.
We'll do that. It just hates me. Okay, gotcha. Oh, I would have to. Right, I'm not gonna go through that trouble.
Me either. Is it hostile? I mean, is it charging us or what? Why are we?
We rolled initiative.
What? I thank you. I understand that, Jason.
There have been plenty of times I've made you guys roll initiative where things were not down to.
Nice.
I don't even know why. I don't. Oh, it's because it. Oh my god! Why are there 50,000 different options here?
I don't know.
Is that the thing? Is that the thing that determines?
Are you sure
That
there
is
are
the
not
thing that
7?
determines. That is the thing that determines. Well, and now I know, and knowledge is power.
G.I.
It looks like a
Joe.
pug, and this is a mercy killing.
Okay,
All right.
your hatred for pugs is just
He hates-
unbridled.
All things cute and fun.
Oh no,
Okay,
those are not
we
cute. Not at
Fix
all.
that.
Not even close.
All right,
Hatred is
this
a barbarian
thing,
race.
as it kind of like lopes towards you, and you see it. It sees you. It snarls, and you see drool and spittle kind of like lop out of one side of its mini toothed maw, and it
Gross.
coils like it's about to spring towards you, and that's when we jump into initiative. So, Bones, top of the round, you hear Ezra's kind of like startled stammering, and then you hear, or you hear the creature's noises, and then you hear Ezra's startled stammering. Turn, you have this helmet in your hands, and you can't see the creature, but you can see Ezra kind of like gesturing in its direction. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't fucking. I guess I'll put the helmet down to fight, but like I will put the helmet down at the feet of the statue, and I will move to try and see what they're saying. 3. I can't get over the
You can't get over the lip. Let me see if I can.
4. Okay,
adjust.
it's I can if I move myself with like I pick myself up.
I'm tweaking the. I don't know if I can do this for both sides, but I'm tweaking the light, the walls basically.
The dynamic light
Let's-
settings.
Yeah, the dynamic light settings. Let's see if that helps. So
So
you
it is-
step out and you see this gray, almost reptilian, dog-like, bat-like creature. It's big. It's a big fucking creature, just kind of like lumbering through these halls.
Mm-hmm.
That works. That's good, Jimmy.
Okay.
Good.
And it looks like
And it's all
trying
coiled
to...
up and slavering, and like now you step out and it sees you and its eyes like glare at you and it just snarls. It looks pissed.
Just kick it into a pool. It'll drown itself.
I'd like to kick it into a pool to see if it will drown itself.
There are no pools nearby that you see.
I tried.
Maybe next time.
Okay. Well, I will not do that then.
Okay.
I will saunter back in here and hold an attack for when I can get snake.
Okay. Gotcha.
And that's my trigger. Can get snake, will attack.
Can get snake. Ashes, you're up.
Bonus
you hear
action.
this, you see Bones walk out and kind of like look up and down, appraise the situation, and like just kind of slink back through the doorway.
I'm just like,
I know.
huh.
Interesting.
I wolf up. I step into the hall. I see it.
Yeah.
And,
It sees you.
Just as for flair.
It's got these kind of like big ridged eyebrows, and like the cat person came out the door and it like looked and snarled, and the cat person left, and then a wolf person comes out and its brows just kind of like they go wide a little bit, and then they furrow real bad, like it's confused and it doesn't like it.
So, I'm going to, and this is just for flavor, not actually equipping anything. I'm gonna grab Zalara. I'm gonna point it at the creature, and then like, I don't know what the spell actually looks like, but assuming some kind of like beam, just
The spell
into
looks
its
like how
face.
you want it to look like. It's your item.
And I'm compelling it to duel thee.
Okay, so a beam shoots from Zalara to this creature, and you compel it to duel you. All right, compelled duel. What's your DC? 13.
It is int plus proficiency plus 8.
Okay. Wisdom saving
Is-
throw. All right.
He says, duel me, monster.
The creature kind of like cocks its head, almost kind of like Stitch style, like overly turns the head to where it's almost like vertical, and does not seem compelled in the slightest.
Damn, sounds like he made his save.
Oh, well, shit. Sorry, I did not read that well enough. I've already used it, so I'm going to consider it consumed, but it would not have worked anyways. That's
'cause it was
also a bonus action.
Bonus action.
Yeah,
We'll just say you bonus actioned and then use that as your actual action. Gotcha.
And then that'll in turn.
Sounds good. All right, understood. The creature, witnessing this weird conga line of other creatures, snarls, kind of like hunches down and has these almost not rippling muscles, but kind of coiled muscles, and then just half lunges, half flaps forward into a slight charge, coming to stop in front of Ashes and next to Ezrah.
Uh-oh.
And as he comes in swinging, he immediately just like he almost it is not a refined style of fighting. This thing just like swings wildly at you with claw, and it's not really like talons or anything like that. It's kind of this pudgy, almost human-like hand with these little nubbin claws on the end of them, right?
Damn, that sounds like I can get snake.
So
it looks like a. So I finally see it now. It looks like a flesh-colored toothless with bigger ears.
kind of, yeah, actually. So it swings
Blasphemy.
a claw at you, Ashes. I'm on public. I apologize.
Animated Lord of the Rings. Hold on, I gotta get a picture.
So that was a 17, so that misses you, Ashes. And then it sees that Ezrah is there, right? And it kind of like startled, backhand swings another claw at Ezrah. 8 misses wildly. And then it sees multiple people, and it's got these slavering, drooling jaws, and it kind of like looks back and forth, and tries to kind of like pounce towards Ezrah and bite him. So try to bite you. Ooh, another 8. So ineffectual, like unable to damage any of you. It just comes in kind of swinging wildly with no finesse, no real skill to its attacks. Matashtai, you're up.
Sir, do I get my trigger or not?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you get your trigger.
Thank you.
Bo,
I
bo, bo,
will,
bo.
roll my normal dag.
You know what? Sir?
I said, man, it looks like I could get snake, and then you just didn't acknowledge me.
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Okay, well, I was said. 24.
You sass me, motherfucker. 24 hits. Your dagger flies, hurtles through the air past Ezrah into this creature. And the creature itself looks robust, but that dagger just punches into it. It has it's not like any underdark plate armor plated, tough hide, tough skinned creature. It's kind of soft, buttery flesh. That dagger just goes right in.
Oh, all right then.
Okay. And it just howls. It just howls as your dagger hits it. Anything else?
Soft buttery flesh is also another way to describe.
No, that's my reaction.
Gotcha. Matashtai, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna step up here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna commence the whappering.
I should have
Commence the weapon.
Tamakiri out, so pop, pop. And then I'm gonna sweep the legs, Johnny.
Both of those hit.
Sweep the
not
legs.
sweep
The legs,
That one does
Johnny.
not. So roll me your damage, okay. So the first one, a slash across, a thrust into the chest of, and then you go to kind of like try to sweep the legs. But it's just 2 tight quarters. Confirm that critical for me.
No, I'm gonna not confirm it. Confirmed it.
Confirm that critical for me.
Solid.
So, Ezra, make me a dexterity saving throw, DC 14.
That's 7.
Okay, but yeah, you're fine. You're fine. So Matashtai, you go to sweep the legs, and it's such tight quarters. You're not intentionally trying to hit Ezra, but there's a point where Ezra is kind of like trying to get the hell out of the way, and you're trying to create space, and you go to sweep this thing, and Ezra ends up in the way. But fortunately, Ezra is able to... You see this coming, and you kind of like pull off on the blow, and you don't end up just kicking the legs out from underneath Ezra and toppling him on his ass.
I'll break his shins.
So, very nice. All right, anything else?
No, that is it for me.
All right, cool. Ezra, this thing howls in fury and just stares daggers at Matashtai and at Bones, right? The two individuals that have harmed it so far. The drool from its mouth is just plopping off in these big gloops. And as it hits the gray stone floor, it doesn't sizzle or anything like that, but there is this... It dissipates very quickly, and there's this faint odor, this faint kind of like bitter, acrid odor that comes off of it. There's definitely something up with the saliva of this creature.
Oh. Don't get bit. Trust me.
No.
Don't get
Go ahead
bit.
and that's
Casually.
fine. Thank for us.
And then realizing what I'm saying as it's processing in my mind, I'm going to reach out as lightning strikes between my fingertips and attempt
Yep,
to...
Shocking Grass absolutely hits.
Power!
So you hit this creature, you just reach out, touch it on like the side of the arm as it's focused on trying to defend itself from Matashtai, and lightning just and it at first it perks up, like its whole body kind of like tenses and straightens, and it kind of like sticks its head almost up, kind of like gopher like or prairie dog like, right? Like ooh, well, like what? And its ears go real high. And then it does the typical, oh god, lightning, like throughout its body type thing.
Oh god, lightning.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go ahead and
It
relocate.
it didn't seem unfamiliar with that sensation.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
it's been shocked before. No.
Fucked up.
Shit.
It's actually Killua from Hunter x Hunter.
All right. Bones, you are up.
What's up, baby?
This thing,
okay.
like you guys have been beating on this thing for a turn. It looks like it's covered in wounds. It doesn't. It is not a especially well armored creature. But it's maybe a hardy creature potentially.
Okay.
But it's kind of howling in pain and frustration as you guys just take it apart.
Well, I'm just gonna dag it again, cause
Okay.
why not?
Why not?
And there's no intrinsic benefit in taking careful aim. So, dagger. That probably hits. Snake attack.
That
Sharpshooting
definitely
dagger.
hits.
Turnover.
Okay. The second dagger hits. The first one hits, right? Hits in the chest. The creature howls. And as it is bellowing out, right, the second dagger takes it in the throat, and its stubby kind of like paws reach up, grab, pull the dagger out, look over at you, and give you this horrid, like, just unhappy, just like,
Yeah,
ugh.
like, why?
No, well, not so much like why, like how could you?
Oh.
Just this frustrated like it's a Monday kind of like look, right? Like
Mondays.
just this fucking like, oh.
We just killed Garfield.
And it drops the dagger, and then the whole creature's body begins to bubble up, and after about a second and a half, it goes bloop, bloop,
Step back. Step back.
and it all just falls into this massive sploosh of liquid that just hits the gray slate ground. And before you move,
Yep.
before anything else happens, before that sploosh of liquid really even goes anywhere, it dissipates, and the creature and the liquid and the remains of it are gone.
All my homies
And-
love solutions.
And just like that, the battle against this creature is over. And it's immediately back to calm, quiet, nothing happening, but slight breeze around you.
Why would somebody be so willing to deliberately breed a creature with so many physical defects?
I'd like to make Ashes' snout flat.
How?
Because I take these comments as a personal affront.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Bludgeoning mostly.
Oh, bludgeoning? Oh, okay, understood. Gotcha.
Also years of genetic, malfeasance.
You find yourselves once more alone.
All right, so back to
Within-
my helm. Is there anything like written on it, in it, around it? I mean, if it comes off, I assume there's a reason.
There is nothing written. You give a quick once over.
Yeah. Quick once over.
There's nothing written on the outside of it.
Oh yeah, I figured it would have to be the inside.
Inside,
Otherwise, why make it removable?
at the nape of the neck,
A nip.
it says, printed or stamped, right? In common,
All my homies
Oh,
love getting
yeah.
stamped.
it says, property of Madgoth.
Okay.
And then under that, it says replica of greatest helm.
Huh.
This is not the greatest helm in the world.
Okay, well, if it's
That's
not the
just a
greatest
tribute.
helm, if it's not the greatest helm, I've lost quite a bit of interest in it. I just gave it to Ezra. I'm like, I don't want this anymore.
Oh, okay.
It's a replica.
Interesting.
I'll walk up to the statue and give it a little jostle to see if it like is it sitting on like a lazy Susan or something?
Is the statue sitting on a lazy Susan?
It's
No.
pointing at the
It is pretty solid.
uh-huh.
In a momento.
Maybe put the helm in your bag and can.
No, if it's a replica, I don't want it.
Yeah, but you could hold on to it for
No,
later.
it's not real.
Worthless.
Agreed. Thank you for backing me up, Matthew.
Probably got stuck.
Remember the greatest helm in the world.
Roll me an investigation, Ashes.
Investigation ashes.
Investigation.
Investigating. I investigate. Okay. Pretty good. Don't know if it's good enough, but college try.
Damn, Ash just went to college? How much debt is he in?
The statue does not turn. It does not seem to be able to be turned by your own hand. But there is a seam at the base of the statue that seems to indicate that there is some way to cause motion.
Okay. And it's currently pointing at the violet.
Southwest.
What was
yeah.
it? And what was? All right. I know what the colors are. What are the things that are colored? Like I just know that there is a color down there.
There are flowers there.
Flowers.
And they're planted amongst these little crystals, basically, very kind of pebble-sized crystals,
okay,
of a similar color.
So if the statue's pointing, oh, go ahead.
Well, there's another thing that you notice with your investigation, since you're kind of actually right up on top of it and looking around, etc., etc. And it is very faint. It's actually hard to kind of tell because of the amount of dust that has settled upon it. But the spell book in the statue's hand actually is inscribed with something.
Hey, magic man, come read this.
He's a
There are
magic
words.
man.
Knock my motherfucker.
I
Chop,
hand
chop.
the helmet back to Bones, but put it back then if you don't want it. And I shuffle towards the inscription.
Does the book come out of the hand?
It
Or is
does
it part
not.
of the...
So
Okay.
you check, and it does seem to indeed be a part of the statue itself. Ezra, you
Fun.
move towards the tome, and you kind of like have to get up on the pedestal itself and sit in a weird angle to be able to look down on to the spellbook, but it's not a language per se that is etched into the book. It's arcane scripture. There is a spell etched into this spell book.
All my homies love arcane scripture.
Do they?
Yeah. What do you mean?
I'm going to pull out a piece of parchment paper and a piece of chalk.
Okay.
And I'm going to do a...
You're rubbing? Yeah, you
a
have to kind of like
Eco
blow
rub it.
away the gathered dust that is filling up the little cracks and crannies of the script. And then, yeah, it doesn't take you very long to just make a quick rubbing of whatever this is. So notate within your stuff that you have a rubbing of the spell from the Mad Goth statue or something along those lines. And you can, for future reference, you can also notate floor 7, room 23. In case we come back to this 6 months from now and you're like, yeah, that one spell that I got a rubbing from in that one room, in that one floor, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man. That'll help
room
me
3, you said?
figure it out. Floor 7, room 23.
23.
Nobody knows. Least
That
of
is
all,
correct.
me.
Nobody knows.
Noted and stored.
Right.
And then I remove myself from my awkward pedestal.
Okay. Fair enough.
I would
Alright.
like to go check out the violet flowers, or
Okay.
what is around them.
Yeah, so
I'm
there's
assuming there's going to be something.
there's a slight
Like
pathway
yellow-based.
that curves through each of these
Walking straight through it.
these little
into the grass.
gardens. Are you just trampling on the
Yep.
flowers as you walk through?
I'm a dog. I don't give a shit.
All right. This
Now we
quite
fucking die.
lovely, if simple garden. Ashes just starts tromping through these southwestern violet flowers, and you can hear the soft crunch of little crystal bits that pop and crush underneath his boots.
Fucked up.
Uh,
Just-
Remember, Spellcaster's Castle. Maybe just follow the... okay.
Why?
So,
You don't see what the statues. The statue's clearly pointing at something over here.
so you
The
begin
statue's pointing!
so you begin
There's
to
clearly something here.
tromp over here, and look around, and there is a single stone, kind of like not a bench, but like a little seat, perhaps, but it's very low to the ground. It couldn't be very comfortable for a person to sit upon unless they were of a smaller stature.
But we
Um,
are of a small stature right now, Jeremy. We're like 1/20th our size.
Oh shit! He's
Oh,
raising
shit.
you out.
Shouldn't we all be talking like this? Is this what our voices sound like? Yeah, this is what we sound like every time we talk now.
But otherwise,
RP the rest this way the rest of the night.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the
Absolutely.
call.
nope, absolutely not. So, other than that, you find there's nothing, not a hidden switch as far as you can tell. There's no clear mechanism that the statue is pointing towards, or some engraving or hidden statue or anything like that.
I ain't found shit.
I ain't found shit.
Damn, he ain't found shit.
I was inspecting the
It's
yellow
called a
flowers. Do I
reference.
see anything?
Are
special
you
over
tromping
there?
through the flowers as well, Matashtai?
I'm nice and gentle. I step between them where I can. And
Well, there, like I
avoid
said, there is a
anything.
path that goes through each of the different sections. So if you follow the path, it's simple enough. And
Follow the path.
you find
Stay on the path.
basically an identical
Stay on the path.
situation. There's a very small, not a bench, but some sort of seat, stool, something that's very small in stature. And other than that, they're just relatively pretty flowers, arranged and cared for well, and
I'd like to
interesting.
sit on the stool.
Say what?
I would like to sit on the stool.
It is difficult. You basically have to kind of like squat on it because it's so low to the ground. Which makes it relatively uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable to squat, but uncomfortable to squat on a small stone stool, basically, because it doesn't quite match your squatting height, right? You know.
So I'm Slav squatting. Got it.
So it's
Squat, baby.
it's strange, and nothing seems to happen. But as you're kind of sitting there, in that squatting position, the flowers they're not tall flowers, but they're largish, right? So you actually kind of have this thing where your knees are just above the top of the flowers, and you're kind of like hunkered down, like looking out across, and it's pretty. It's almost, you almost get this flash of like, maybe if you were a little bit smaller, this place would have a different perspective about it, right? Almost a land of beautiful color and adventure for you to explore. But you're not.
Okay.
I put the helmet back on the statue and leave. This place sucks.
Okay.
I wait at the door though in case I'm needed.
All right. There is no issue with putting the helmet back on the statue. It seems to go on without any muss or fuss.
Ezra does a once over on the statue, looking for any sort of trigger or.
You can roll me an investigation check.
Oh man, I'm really tempted to do something that's probably dumb.
Would
Just
my
spin it at
spectacle
random?
count in this?
Yeah,
instance?
absolutely. Yep.
A 21.
21. Yeah, you give this statue the good what for. You look over it in much the same way that Ashes did, kind of taking hints from the things that he had discovered and pointed out. And you're relatively certain that this thing probably rotates. But there is no clear mechanism to cause it to rotate. And your investigation finds nothing further in that vein.
Is there anything hanging on walls, like sconces or ornaments?
Now, again, this is this courtyard, or this courtyard garden, is kind of open air, so you can see up above you to the second and third floors, and there's little crystal barred windows to those. Specifically, you can see up that it would probably be all but impossible to get through those crystal barred windows unless you were able to break the bars or like pass through them in some way, shape, form, or fashion. You're all too large to get through them regularly.
Big boys.
So you gotta be small.
Tiny. Ezra, when you turn back around from investigating the statue, you see Ashes, basically just his ass, and dirt flying up from beneath his legs as he's digging under the flowers.
Oh no.
God damn it.
Someone let the dog into the garden, and he's digging again.
If I can take him anywhere.
So Ashes starts to just dig in the violet flower beds.
I'm sure of it. There's something here.
Ashes.
Ashes, you get about 2 feet down, and then hit stone.
Shit.
That makes sense, honestly.
There's just this hole with violet flowers strewn about, and the pebble-sized crystals, most of them in that particular area, crushed or just flung to the side.
All right, I don't think there's anything here.
Damn, you don't think? You don't think so, huh?
Hey, at least I'm looking.
I shout from the doorway.
At least I'm helping.
Encouragingly.
I fling dirt on my claws.
I helped. There wasn't nothing on that damn thing.
Well, there is a chance that we might end up back here, looking at the 3 doors in the courtyard, and
And
then
3 doors down?
If
Floors
I'm
above.
crazy, then will you still call me Superman?
And then I start
will not,
walking
no.
towards the hallway we
Prob-
came from.
Domestic terrorist, probably. That's what I'd call you.
Walk back out of the garden, leaving it somewhat less pristine than when you found it.
Don't make that face, Mitch. You know if Superman went crazy, he'd be called a domestic terrorist.
I don't know that it would
Yeah.
just be domestic.
I was,
Fair
Well,
enough.
he's
Well-
not domestic. He is foreign. He's from a different
Yeah.
planet.
Yeah, but America thinks they're his, or he's theirs, whatever.
Full on terrorist.
His name
No,
is
he's-
Kal-El. Like,
Also,
Yeah.
I don't think just being crazy makes you a terrorist.
Okay, yeah, but it's implied that he's gonna do things.
He's gonna use terror.
oh, like,
He's not gonna
when
just
you- when-
literally obliterate our
in the
planet.
context, when you're saying you're
Yes.
going crazy, it's like you're
Okay,
saying you're going poop.
guys, we're kind of derailed on the conversation here.
Look, I'm totally railed, all right? I'm not I'm on the rails.
So, is everyone finished with the garden? Everyone exiting?
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else to do in
Okay.
here at the moment.
You all step out of the garden, back into the hall the way you came.
Yep.
And you are once again greeted with that calm silence and no indication of where to go or what to do now. So
Guess we
what
better
would you
keep-
like to do?
Gotta keep our eyes out for more hug abominations.
More Denkainen.
Fleshy,
More
toothless.
Kine. More Helm. More Dagoth. More Dagoth.
Mordgoth. There we go. That's
Got
that's
there.
definitely it.
I go
We
this
got
way
there.
as well. I go with him.
You guys
Where
set
we going?
off
I wanna go.
westward.
I
You
started
start
looking
to
over the
look
stove.
forward. Start to try to investigate. Matashtai, as you all round the corner, you find that there's this almost kind of small antechamber outside of this door. But on the wall to the south, there are more of those crystal bars. And you can see out into the darkness, which is somewhat strange because you recall when you were outside within the bubble with Ezrah, you didn't see a bunch of just teeny tiny windows all over this place.
Don't know what that means.
I think it's
All right.
intentionally vague. Just a guess.
All right.
it's magic. They're not
I'll walk
real.
over.
As you approach
Towards the
this
door.
door, which seems to be much like a normal door, you see, kind of strangely, that there is a tiny copper coin wedged into the door frame.
Like, I call Bones over.
Come over. What's up, Doc?
Does that look like someone trying to keep track of someone's been in there? Or I don't know, is that like a stealth trick thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Both take a look at it, and it definitely looks like if you open that door, the coin will fall away from the door.
Yeah, it's an old code, but it checks out.
Well, pull up.
Shut up.
The and add 1 copper coin to your monies.
I keep it separate from my other money because I don't trust it.
Okay.
Penny for your thoughts.
All right. You guys want to go in this one?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I ease the door open.
It
Yo.
squeaks slightly. Slightly rusty hinges. Your purplish hued lantern light splits into the room beyond. Inside,
Flit on him.
find a room stuffed from floor to ceiling with junk. Piles upon piles of open boxes, barrels, buckets, clusters of sacks and bags, large mounds of horseshoes, a big merchant's scale, a half a dozen strange, cracked, odd-shaped garden gnomes with leering faces. Just tons and tons of random junk. It's actually kind of difficult to potentially walk through the room. There's just so much stuff shoved in here.
Today on
Nothing
Hoarders.
like tying the items together. Like they're just completely random.
They seem pretty random. There doesn't seem to be any correlation between them necessarily. Not off the top of your head anyway. But there's a lot of stuff in here. You're just at the doorway taking a glance, so who knows?
I'm going for a better look. Trying to understand this mad goth.
Okay. What does everyone
I'm
else
going to
do?
help him.
I'm
I'll
gonna-
help him. I'll try and figure it out
I'll
too. Like,
definitely help him scavenge the junk for anything that seems of value. Maybe like an armor set that matches the helmet, maybe, or something. I don't know. Like,
Okay.
wow, does it also say that it's a replicant? Present yourself for inspection, replicant.
While you guys are investigating the room, we're going to tick
I
the
often
situations tracker up
Investigate.
by 1. And I need
Oh,
you
gee.
all to roll me an investigation check.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Investigation +0.
-1.
Oh, we're doing great.
Hell yeah.
No. Jake is our investigator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
-1 rolled the highest.
As you begin to kind of look through some of the boxes, sift through some of the barrels, shake out some of the bags, you come to find that this is a vast collection of mundane shit.
Okay.
A lot of really strange, mundane shit. There's a pile of chisels, but they're every single one of them, chipped
Okay.
or cracked or something along those lines. There are
Yeah,
17 shovels stacked in one corner. There are the strange garden gnomes. And then there are various assortments of abacuses and little scales. There are various
That's a good question.
packs and satchels, but most of them are filled with random shit.
Trying to think how I phrase this question. Does the stuff look like it could be useful stuff? Does this seem like a hoarder just keeping everything, or is it just something like is someone just whimsical or delusional that just grabs shit and keeps it?
I think with your
Does any of it look cool?
I think with your 17, you would have been able to surmise that there is some useful stuff here. In point of fact, there's about one of every singular item, at least one of every singular item from the adventuring gear table. But
Interesting.
there's also just a whole bunch of the problem is most of those things are slightly damaged in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Like I was saying, right? Like with the chisels, they're all either slightly chipped or cracked, right? You find a spyglass, which could be very useful if the front lens wasn't just shattered to shit and back, right?
So, with all this information, would we be able to like make the assumption that maybe this was at one point either like a shop or a storeroom for a shop?
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought.
It's an idea, but I don't think you have enough information. I mean, you have enough information to come to whatever conclusion you would like. There is just very clearly, there's a random assortment of potentially useful stuff here, but most of it's damaged. And then there's a random assortment of, like I said, leering garden gnomes. So it's part collection of useful items, part collection of just random shit. And some of it's whimsical in nature, potentially, right? Depending on the person in question, maybe.
The garden gnomes all in the same pose.
They are not all in the same pose, no. They are all in the same area, as if there was some attempt at organization and cataloging, right? But they're not all like neatly stacked together. They're just all kind of thrown into the same pile.
All right. Well, unless anyone else has anything else for this room, I'm going to move.
So I will specifically say, if there's anything someone is specifically looking for on the adventuring gear table, they might be able to find a working option if they would like to try.
I'll take another 10-foot pole. Can't ever have too many of those.
Roll me a d20. You want to roll
Here's
high.
your new 8-foot pole.
Also,
Here's
water
your new
skins. I'm
6.5 foot pole.
Okay.
Roll 1d20. I rolled a 12.
You find a 7.5 foot pole.
I immediately deem it to be actual garbage and throw it away.
Okay. Or do you want to look for those water skins?
While he's going through that,
No, this place is garbage. I hate it now.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab one of the gnomes and shatter it on the ground just to see what it's made of.
Okay. Roll me an athletics check.
Well, I am still dog, so that's advantage.
It is not the gnome that shatters. It is the floor that a big giant chip shatters out of, and the garden gnome just seems slightly blemished.
Damn, take that for later.
Made out of a Nokia phone? What?
It's almost like some sort of fucking like tank shell or something that you just slammed into the ground.
What's the floor made of?
It seems to be some sort of strange magic slate or granite.
Magic.
Alright. So you guys spend a few minutes in like trying to figure out what this room's deal is and whether there's anything worthwhile here or whether there's a purpose or a greater meaning perhaps. But you come up short on all of the above.
Actually, a lot of stuff in just basic adventuring gear.
Yeah, there is. There's a fair amount of shit. You guys admit
I almost want to
defeat
take these
when it
gnomes to
comes
use
to this room?
projectiles.
Yeah, I just leave. This place sucks. 7.5-foot pole.
All right, Bones gives up, walks out in exasperation. Matashtai, it looks like you're already out as well.
Yeah, let's get
Yeah.
it.
Ezra, Ashes, everyone done.
Yeah, we're out.
When you leave,
Happens.
leave the door wide open.
Don't let the gnomes out. They're
No,
going to come
I
alive.
close it and I put the copper piece back.
Whoa, bro.
The exact same copper piece that I took.
That's some counter espionage shit.
Roll me a history check, and I'm gonna say since you got several people with you, you can do so at advantage.
Okay. Specifically, Bones was in there inspecting it with me.
Dude, I inspected the shit out of it with my hypersensitive eyes. My eyes.
Boom.
You're pretty sure that is exactly where the copper coin was positioned previously. You're pretty if you had been the one to put the copper coin there the last time, you couldn't tell a difference this time.
I feel good about it. Wait, god damn it, Bones or fucking Ashes busted up the floor. They're gonna know either way.
Yeah, well, whatever. Maybe they'll just think a gnome fell from a shelf.
To be fair, Ashes has broken or fucked up something in every room of this place. We have no chance at diplomacy.
Maybe it's like in his nature. We also killed that thing, and it exploded into goo. Is there a goo stain?
There's not. It seems that the body as it liquefied did that big waterfall sploosh, but almost immediately upon impact, it just dissipated.
Huh. That's awful weird.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. All right, let's move up to the store.
Okay.
All right, I don't know why I'm driving. Someone else is welcome to. I'm just picking places and going.
You guys are just
I'm
in venture
good, man.
explore mode, so you're just kind of like, all right, let's see what the next thing is. Okay. You all kind of move up the hallway, and the hallway does narrow as it begins to move northward. You can see a door immediately north and to the west, and then a door immediately north and to the east. The door immediately north and to the east looks identical to the door that you had taken to enter into the courtyard, which they look similar, the rest of the doors do, but there is a slight variance to them. The doors into the courtyard are a slightly paler shade of gray. You step forward towards this next door and see
What do I see with my special eyes?
your special eye.
My brawn.
You see nothing. It's just a door.
Wow, shit, bro. Didn't see that coming.
Oh fuck. So, you all step forward. There's just a door here. And beyond, there are more doors to the north. The hall continues. There's a slight hall to the west.
Does this just a door also have the coin in it?
It does not.
Oh, wow. Spook. I open it.
Okay.
Slight click of the handle. And beyond, you find
Gian.
against the west wall sits a fancy wooden chair with a golden chamber pot tucked below it. Four thin books rest on a side table next to the chair. A quick kind of like peek of your head inside. And you can see against the north wall stands a vanity with a built-in mirror on which are arrayed vials of various liquids, combs, brushes, and powder puffs. Against the south wall is a large marble bathtub with clawed feet, the kind that might appear in a children's story to carry naughty kids away. There are 2 towels, one red and one green, hanging on hooks above the clawed bathtub.
Someone left at Christmas.
It's a nice bathroom.
It is a pretty nice bathroom.
It is actually a very nice bathroom. This is almost kind of like a noble's bathroom, might think, right? This is, some of the stuff in here is, how to say, shiny.
I'll walk up to the vanity that has the mirror.
Yeah.
Just look at my reflection.
You're
What's up, you
looking,
handsome devil?
you're looking handsome today. You take a look and then you look down at the array of, you know, vials and combs and things like that, and then you look back up into the mirror. And maybe a quick combing would be nice. You're maybe a little scraggly. It's been a while since you kind of primped and pampered.
Look behind me. Maybe I tread a little bit of dirt from the garden in.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, so you inspecting the things that are kind of arrayed out. The mirror seems, it's a mirror, right? It doesn't seem, there seems to be nothing hidden within your reflection or anything like that.
I'm gonna like try to fake out my reflection and be like, huh. Yeah.
It's too good. It just follows you perfectly. You're sure that it's a fake, though.
You want me to stun it?
Please don't break something in this room.
I'll stun your reflection.
Just so you can have that on the list.
Stun his reflection.
Oh,
I
goodness.
wholeheartedly support this.
No, I think maybe let's not break something in at least one room.
You hear, suddenly,
Hello.
the opening and closing of a door. And then,
Well, you proceed to get fucked on again?
walking around the corner, you see a familiar face that looks startled, surprised, snarls, and I need everyone to select their tokens and roll for initiative.
So here's the thing. Does it look at us with, like, recognition? Is it the same one?
It absolutely seems to recognize you. And that is, I think, where we will take our break. We'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes. We'll see you then. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.